bit longer. Week 10 of the NFL season is here, and we're underway on EA Sports. This is taken just shy of the 10 here. And he's all the way up across the 40 and down at the 42-yard line. Great return.
Well, that return gives them a golden opportunity to go out in front. How will the defense respond after giving up that type of a return?
Here we go. Back. Waiting. Let's go, deep. Let's go.
They will run for the first time with Miles Sanders. And very little daylight there. He'll get a couple up to the 44. Only a couple for him there on the game's first play, and it's second down.
Second and 8 at the 44-yard line.
The last run got a couple. Here's second and 8. Wentz now to throw. And complete to Zach Ertz. And he is out of bounds inside the 35. 22 yards there, a first down. From the 34 now, here's first and 10. On first and 10, it's Sanders. And he's got this down almost to the 20 before he's dropped. 12 yards is the pickup. Good for an Eagle first down.
How best to describe that one? I'd say right down Broadway on that run.
A straight-ahead running. I think that might be something we see a lot of between the tackles today.
Well, he's enjoying things so far here this afternoon. Sees a crease and bursts through it for a solid gain.
Throwing on first down, but this one winds up to be incomplete. By the way, I got to apologize because I just realized for about the last 4 or 5 plays I'm eking over into your territory up here in the booth. My bad. I'm going to get back over to my spot.
Yeah, we're not talking about our on-air commentary. I mean, what is all this extra paper? I mean, this is unusual for you.
My bad.
Normally you run a really tight ship. What's going on here?
Just like that incomplete pass, I'm going to try to tighten things up here for this next play. They'll try to run with Sanders. And he's in. Touchdown, Eagles. Miles Sanders, his 5th touchdown now on the year. As his guys are able to strike first here in this opening quarter. Elliott good with a PAT. And that makes the score 7-0. Now after the touchdown, here's Elliott on to kick it away. This is fielded a couple yards deep. And he'll get it up to about the 26-yard line just across the 25.
The Steelers take over first and 10 at their own 26-yard line.
Ready? Hey, check. Mike 50. Time to go, night. Yeah, go.
They'll run for the first time with Tevin Coleman. And he is swallowed up right at the line of scrimmage.
That's how we do, D.
Call it no gain on the play, and it'll be second down.
As usual, the hallmark of a good run defense, linebackers making plays near the line of scrimmage. Absolutely nowhere to run there.
Looking to throw on second down. Lynch. And his throw's going to be incomplete. Ronald Darby that time, the one who got a hand in and knocked it free. Charles, already trailing by a touchdown early. This offense, how imperative is it for them to get points out of this drive?
Well, they feel like they have to go ahead and match because of what was already on the board against their defense. But I think even more so, you just want to avoid 3 and outs. You want to be able to stay on the field for a little while, let your defense catch their breath a little bit, even if you don't score any points.
They had the incomplete pass on second down. Now they need a big play here, 3rd and 10.
Go. Under 10. 10. There. Hey, Alpha! Where are you by?
From the shotgun, it's Lynch. And the throw there going to be incomplete.
And third down is a key down in any game you play. And third down defense, something we've got to watch in this one. Got to be effective on the passing downs. That's a pretty good first step right there.
And this is away. It's a high kick, and he got all of it. Taken in at the 11. A good return there, 17 yards. And the Eagles will have it, taking over 1st and 10. The Eagles offense set to begin their next drive. And, you know, certainly a lot of football left to be played. We're not into December yet, but right now where we stand, they're first place in their division. Looking good, looking to be a threat come January.
And let's think about what every team has in their goals, all right? Number one goal is what? Make the playoffs. Number two goal is win your division. Number three goal, and the biggest goal, I think, is to be the highest seed possible that you can be heading into the playoffs so that you can have as many home games as possible to try and get you to the Super Bowl.
And right now fighting for every win possible to try and at least secure home field for the wild card and or divisional round. An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on third down. Shotgun now for Wentz. And it's caught by Parker. His first catch, good for 9 and a first down.
And the key number on that play, 3. Third play of the drive, third down, spectacular catch. Turns into a first down.
First down saves them from a 3 and out. A little bit of daylight on that first down run sets him up nicely. 8 yards on the carry. Just what you want on a first down run. Call it 8 yards. And it's 2nd and 2. From just shy of midfield, Wentz eluding the pressure right. And now he's going to use his legs. And he'll go down inside the 45 before going out of bounds. Wentz can pull it down when he needs to, and the 6'5" quarterback picks up the first down. Operating out of Steeler territory now. Here's 1st and 10 at the 43. Now a pass dumped off to his running back. And that play goes nowhere. Taken down, losing yardage at the 50, right at midfield.
You know what the key to a good screen pass is, don't you?
But you're going to tell me, good blocking?
Well, good blocking eventually. But first is good acting. You want to let the defenders go past you, leak out to whichever side or even in the middle where you want to set up the screen, and then you do your blocking. How about the read, though, by the defensive guys? They weren't fooled at all and actually ran with the lineman to where the play was and smothered it for a loss of yardage.
Seventh play of this drive coming up, but a long way to go on third down. From midfield, here's Wentz. And almost picked off. I guess the good news for them now, it's 4th down.
It's a great job by this secondary. When I watch them, they remind me of elite defenders on a basketball court, right? They want to contest each and every pass.
Great contest on third down to bring up 4th.
That is how you flip field position. That's an absolute bomb of a punt. Downs it inside the 5-yard line. Absolutely ideal.
From that position, you're hoping to get it down inside the 15, inside the 5. Superb. They'll start out on the ground with Coleman. And all the way to the 25 before he's hit and dropped. That's good for 21 yards and a first down. I don't think that's what the defensive coordinator had in mind there. You got him pinned back inside the 5, and then you let him rip off that long run.
You're already anticipating the film session, aren't you?
There's going to be some anger.
Yeah, it's not going to be at the greatest hits, is it? Because they didn't hit anyone on that play. Supposed to have him pinned back deep. Instead, they leave a big crack, a gaping hole, and guess what? They're in bad position right now.
There to stop him was Darius Leonard.
They went right back to him, but he pretty much had nowhere to go on that play.
Yeah, the previous carry looked pretty good. That one, maybe he was a little tired. I don't know.
Yeah, maybe he should have tapped out and had a second back come in and maybe make that run. Who knows?
The run only got a yard. Here's 2nd and 9.
15 line. Hey, exit.
From the gun, it's Lynch. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Khalil Mack in there to get him, and that is sack number 6 now for him on the year.
Now, that was just absolute perfect man coverage. Nowhere for them to go with the football. Led to a sack, and that's really difficult to do in today's NFL with all these gazelles running around that you're trying to cover in the secondary.
Lynch now, work to do, certainly, after that sack. This is 3rd and long.
Hey, orbit.
Out of the gun, Lynch. And he finds McDonald. And he'll be taken down, but they've got this one up to the 35-yard line. 23 yards, the final tally.
1st and 10 at the 35-yard line.
Let's go. 10-2 stop. 44. You must be dreaming. Check 3. Let's go.
They'll run with Coleman on 1st down. And he went nowhere. Well, he went backwards, back to the 33. It's a loss of 2 there, bringing up 2nd down.
Another example right there how this defense really is winning the entire game at the point of attack.
Yeah, right there at the line of scrimmage because they are dominating it. It allows their interior guys to get upfield and spill into the backfield. So how are you going to combat that? You know, because they bring in your tight end, keep him in. Your running backs, they have to step forward. Bottom line, your offensive line has to block them first to give yourself a chance.
On 2nd down, Samuels. And he's able to get more than half of what they needed. That brings up a 3rd and 5.
Go.
That's a gain of 7. Brings up 3rd and 5.
Get it.
From the gun on 3rd down, it's Lynch. And he fires one that's intercepted. Picked off at the 48, and they'll set up shop right near midfield at the 49-yard line. That's now his 2nd interception in as many weeks from his linebacker position.
And think about all the different techniques he has to employ in a passing situation. Is he spot dropping because it's zone? Is he picking up man-to-man? Is he having to run with a running back or a tight end? In any event, great eyes, head on a swivel, and excellent hands.
Yeah, versatility and showing those hands. On 1st down, Sanders trying to run inside, but nothing there. Officially no gain on the play, and it's 2nd down.
I would think as a play caller, you want to look for some quick hitters to your tight end. Any type of a route to replace where that linebacker was. Because when you saw the speed with which he reacted and stuffed that play, maybe use that speed against him in the future.
On 2nd down now, it's Sanders. Past the 20. And he takes it down deep into enemy territory. It's a big play there for the Eagles. 43 yards on the ground. They'll run with Sanders. And he's in for an Eagles touchdown. Miles Sanders with his 2nd TD of the game, his 6th on the year. And the Eagles able to push further out in front. Elliott good on the extra point, and that'll make the score 14-0.
14. Steelers nothing. Jake Elliott to kick off.
Now after the touchdown, here's Elliott on to kick it away. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. The Pittsburgh offense at the line to start their next drive. Already down 2 touchdowns here in the first half. This becomes a pretty important drive, doesn't it?
It certainly does, and a lot of the teams script plays. We know that, right?
The Red Sea parts, and there he goes. And into the end zone. Touchdown, Pittsburgh. Kevin Coleman, his 4th touchdown on the year, as they are now on the board here in the first half. Extra point up and good by Tavecchio, and that'll make our score 14-7. This game back within a touchdown now as the kickoff's away. This is taken at his 4. And an excellent return there as he's up to the 35, but make it the 40-yard line.
Now, that's the kind of return you're looking for. To get to that spot on the field, that allows you to do a lot of things on offense.
The Eagles offense set to begin their next drive. And they were able to punch it in the end zone last time. They'll be looking to do that again here for the defense. Obviously, they'll be looking to stop them from punching it back in the end zone.
It always is punch-counter-punch, isn't it? And which team has the advantage? Well, let's just go back. Last time on offense, they rolled downfield, got into a good rhythm. You can see a little more bounce in and out of the huddle. You can see the sideline really get into the game. So defensively, you're thinking to yourself, how do we take that away from them? How do we get the advantage back? Let's see what they come up with.
Blitz coming, and down he goes. T.J. Watt in there to get him, and that is sack number 6 now for him on the year.
Well, many times when you talk about mobile quarterbacks, you get the sense that they feel like they can get out of any bad situation. They keep moving around and trying to emulate guys like the Scrambler or the Dodger. Instead, they keep losing yardage and digging themselves a hole that they can't get out of.
Well, they're in some hot water now. After that sack, it's 2nd and 21. Into a double team, and it's intercepted. Picked by Darryl Worley. And they have possession, and they have it at the 38-yard line.
Well, this was a 14-0 game not too long ago. Things were looking pretty good. Then you give up the touchdown on the last drive, now the interception.
So that's a lesson in trying to stay vigilant, isn't it? You have to stay on top of things. Can't relax too much because, as you noted, things change. Now they've got to go out there and get us.
And a big loss here as he's taken down. Fletcher Cox in there to get him, and on the season now, that is 9 sacks for him. Now this one from about 2 counties over after the sack. They come up on a 2nd and very long. Lynch to throw. And his throw here's incomplete. Kenny Stills, the intended receiver, and it's 3rd down.
Had the right idea there, trying to throw it to the sideline, but he led him just a little bit too much, trying to get it out to his receiver. Ends up falling to the ground, incomplete.
The Steelers on 3rd down, just 1 for 3 thus far. This will be 3rd and a mile.
Here's Lynch to throw. Going top shelf for Smith-Schuster. And it's knocked away and incomplete.
I know the initial focus was on how far that pass was downfield, but how about the coverage on the play? Able to stay with him, get his hands where the receiver's hands were going to try and catch the ball, tips it up in the air, and knocks it away.
Give him 11 yards that time on the return. And the offense will take over with a new set of downs. The Eagles offense set to begin their next drive. And following the interception, just any interception, are you a little bit more cautious when you start that next drive, or no, you just throw that out the window?
I think you are. I don't think that there's any way you can run back out there and go, totally didn't affect me. Let's just go ahead and be loose with the football again. You're going to take care of it, but you have to be careful about being too cautious because now you can't run any offense at all.
Still want to attack. We'll see how they attack them here. And we remind you, coming up at the half, we'll join who, Charles?
The coach.
The coach, Jonathan Coachman, standing by in Orlando. He'll have stats and scores from games in progress, as well as scores from earlier today.
The coach.
Sorry, we get slap happy up here sometimes. That one covers 24 yards. It's a first down. Throwing on first is Wentz. Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Picked up by Steven Nelson. And he'll bring this all the way up to the 45-yard line.
So that's back-to-back drives where they're throwing an interception. Ordinarily, we look at the offense and say, what's going on with your scheme? Maybe we should look at the defense and just give them a whole lot of credit. They've got them frustrated right now.
Buying time to his left. Now he'll pull it down. He'll wind up getting right about 4 there on the scramble, and it's second down.
Yeah, he only gets a few yards on 1st and 10, but he's better off doing that than throwing an incompletion or even worse, an interception.
Bravo!
Throwing again on second down. Lynch, and he hits his running back, Tevin Coleman. And he's got this down to the 35. Pittsburgh getting 16 yards there and also a first down.
We always talk about having to read defenses and how complicated that is. Well, this was an excellent read.
Into double coverage, and it's intercepted. Picked off at the 17. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. That's sort of a second quarter to forget for him. Now 2 picks in this frame.
Almost as if the first one that he threw, he couldn't shake, couldn't get it out of his head. He ends up throwing a second one as a result.
Compounds the mistake a little bit.
Yeah, you got to be able to forget, compartmentalize, whatever you want to call it, and move on. He hasn't been able to do so here in the second.
Able to get away. And a big loss here as he's taken down. Now the Steelers use the first of their 3 timeouts as they'll stop it with 25 seconds to go here in half number 1. So after the sack, a scenario you certainly don't work on too often. 2nd and 24. It's a second down run with Sanders. And a pretty good run, all things considered. Probably would have liked that in the first quarter instead of right now as the clock continues to run. The Eagles going to take the first of their timeouts as the clock will stop with 18 seconds to go in the first half. Once again, they'll keep it on the ground. And they'll indeed stop him on 3rd down. And now what do you want to do with your timeouts? Now the Steelers use the second of their 3 timeouts as they'll stop it with 13 seconds to play in half number 1. Here's Cameron Johnston now as he'll punt it away for the second time. And he gets this away, angled for the sideline with a lot behind it. Wow. That one sails out of bounds. The side judge will walk it off. And he says it went out of bounds at the 9-yard line. Nice punt. The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive. And you got to think, if this is anything other than just taking a knee, I'd be very surprised.
Yeah, they've got enough to talk about at the half. Why do anything else? Just get out of there.
It's a loss of a yard there, and it's second down.
He's taken out of bounds behind the line of scrimmage.
After the loss to start out, here's 2nd and 11.
That's right, baby. They don't want it. Show it up. Let's go.
They'll keep it on the ground again here. And they're going to be waiting for him as they get him behind the line. So we have reached halftime with a touchdown. That's the difference on the scoreboard. As we'll head down to Orlando, that's where we find our man Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach, both teams appear ready for the fight ahead, and we resume action here in quarter number 3. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback.
Got it.
The Pittsburgh offense at the line to start their next drive. They're close game, but they're going to need to do a little bit better probably here in half 2, no?
I would agree with that totally. I would guess it in the locker room. They talked about cleaning up some of the errors, but overall, I think they wanted to be positive with them. Guys, we're right there. Just not playing as well as we need to. Let's pick it up, and we still have a chance to win this game.
Yeah, they do. We'll see if they can pick it up. So one play, and they're already just shy of midfield.
Hey, Charlie, push him back. Get it.
Operating from the gun. Lynch, nowhere to escape, and he goes down. The sack by Brandon Graham. He's been doing that since he entered the league in 2010. Got to imagine the pass rush will be equally intense here on second down following the sack. It's 2nd and 18. Here's Lynch. Looking middle, and it's incomplete. Darius Leonard, the linebacker, able to break that one up.
Well, this at least is the right idea. I think they've got to get the tight end more involved.
He had just one target in the first half, incomplete. Now incomplete here with the first target of the second half.
Yeah, should not stop them at all from going back to him, though. Find him. Find him.
Hey, Echo. Rock it. Hey, go.
Now Paxton Lynch on 3rd and long. He'll air this one toward Coleman. Got a man. It's caught inside the 10. And he's going to take it in for a Steeler touchdown. Tevin Coleman. He scored on the ground and through the air, as they are an extra point away now from tying this football game. Tavecchio good on the extra point, and we are tied at 14. Nothing separating these two teams on the scoreboard as the kick's away here. This fielded at the 2. Nifty move. And he'll take it up past the 25 to the 26-yard line. The Eagles offense set to begin their next drive. First half showed us some pretty good offense. Tie game, we'll see what the second half brings.
And it'll be interesting because I think both sides feel pretty good about what their offenses are doing. Got to wonder what adjustments are being made defensively to try and get a spark and maybe slow down the other side.
But here, do you change up anything on this opening drive?
Not offensively, you don't. You've got everything going your way. You've probably prepared for maybe some change-ups you might expect, but overall, you like what your game plan's showing you.
A loss of a yard there to start out. That leads to a 2nd and 11. And from the 25, they work this to the 29, a gain of 4.
But you've got to give kudos to your offensive line and the guy carrying the ball because they were in a 2nd and long situation. It seemed pretty dire, but they brought it back to 3rd and manageable with that run.
And Pittsburgh with 6 defensive backs in the game here on 3rd down.
Great.
Working from the gun, Wentz. And he's going to be intercepted a 3rd time. Picked by Darryl Worley. And this one will be brought back to the 22. He was looking for Paul Richardson there. So now he's equaled his interception total from a week ago. Remember, Charles, he had 3 last week.
And you know, all week long he vowed to take that number down. Told the guys on the team, don't worry, things are going to pick up. I've got this. But he is in a major league rut right now. Let's see if his teammates can pick him up along the way.
You're right. He talked about being cool, calm, collective, rebounding. Not rebounding right here. It's a 6-yard pickup, and it gets him to 2nd and 4.
And there's a run to be happy with. Good, solid yardage. He'll take that anytime you hand the ball to him back.
From the 16, Lynch. It's complete. Stills. And he'll get him inside the 15 down to the 14-yard line. That throw good for only a couple. It brings up 3rd down. A field goal would get them the lead, but that's not what they're shooting for as they come up on third down.
Hey, foxtrot, foxtrot.
They'll try and run for it here. It's Coleman. And he has the first down before he's tackled at the 5. They're able to convert on third down, and that sets up a first and goal.
So it's pretty simple, partner. You pick up a turnover, set you up in excellent field position. The last thing you want to do is go 3 and out in this spot.
Yeah, they would have had to settle for a field goal attempt, but now they keep those touchdown hopes alive.
53, Mike 53. And watch that.
They'll run here with Connor. And he'll get this one back to the 5-yard line, but no further than that. No gain on the play that time, and it sets up second and goal.
What an advantage having an elite guy in the middle of the defensive line, because not only does he take up the space and let the linebackers run free, but he can also make plays himself, as we just saw there.
On second and goal, Lynch nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Fletcher Cox has now recorded 10 sacks on the season.
So they were stopped trying to run the ball on first down. Now they take a sack on second down. The offensive coordinator's got to find a way to flip the script on the defensive coordinator, because right now the defense has the advantage.
And now Lynch under pressure again, and down he goes again. Fletcher Cox in there to drop him for his 11th sack of the year.
And it appears to me that someone's defensive coordinator is jockeying for a raise. A sack on second and goal, a sack on third and goal, now brings up a decision on fourth down.
They had it first and goal, 3 attempts, couldn't get it in, so they settle for 3.
Yeah, the field tends to shrink a little bit the closer you get to the goal line, doesn't it? It doesn't sound right. It sounds a little counterintuitive. But you run out of space to run the deep routes, so they can just sit on the shorter stuff if you're going to throw it. If you want to run it, there's just not as much space. They end up having to take 3 there.
The Eagles offense set to begin their next drive. And here we are almost through 3 quarters of play, and this passing game still has not really found any kind of rhythm.
Put it mildly, because they're not even over 100 yards yet. And in today's NFL, where it's a pass-first league, that is quite surprising. Not many teams patient enough to stick with the run. Everybody wants to advance the ball through the air. They've got to get their timing back.
4 yards on that last completion, so that sets up 2nd and 6.
Switch it.
Wentz on the give to Sanders. Just a couple on the pickup there, and now it's third down.
I think if we put together a job description for a middle linebacker, we would start with being able to hold down things in the middle of the line of scrimmage and be able to take on blockers. But how about the guys who can go sideline to sideline and make plays?
Love a guy that can do that. We saw a perfect example of it right there. From the gun on third down, Wentz. Complete. Richardson has it. Well, that'll get them to first down as they get 9 yards out of that quick slant. 3 quarters in the books. We'll return with more after this. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. We saw a number of good games earlier today. This one might top all of those. It's been a dandy as we come up on 1st and 10. A first down run not going to get them a whole lot. Maybe a yard. Yeah, it looks like just 1 yard there, so that'll bring up 2nd and 9.
That was a really nice play, be able to stack that one up. When they get back in the huddle, he's got to tell his guys up front, great job. They kept people off of him, allowed him to run free, and make the hit on the runner.
Filled the gap nicely, kept him to just a 1 yard gain. Play fake to Sanders. Now here's Wentz. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Well, they go play fake. The problem is nobody was faked out.
And when no one's faked out, what's the end result? Quarterback gets hit.
Eagles coming up here on a 3rd and long, so Wentz and company with some work to do after the sack. From the gun, it's Wentz. And the pressure gets to him again. T.J. Watt, he's the one to get him, and that is sack number 7 for him on the year.
Brandon, what I remember most about playing with guys who knew how to rush the passer, they would just tell you, just cover people for me, just long enough for me to get there. And that's exactly what happened on that play.
Here's Cameron Johnston now as he's on to punt for Philadelphia. This is taken at the 23. Can't ask for much more than that. A 50-yard punt followed by a loss on the return. And the Steelers will go on offense here, 1st and 10. The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive. And they're not going to play this conservative, I don't think. They had a field goal last time, and they're up, but they're looking to put a drive in the end zone.
Oh, I agree with you totally. No one goes out on the field and says, all right, let's just settle for 3, except in certain situations, trying to ice a game, that sort of deal. Most of the time, it's end zone, and that's what you're thinking, and I believe that's exactly what they're thinking as they begin this one.
Yeah, no quarterback ever goes out there saying, hey, let's get 3, right?
Not one that I've ever met.
Give him 4 on the ground there. They're now left with 3rd and 6.
That's it. That's what you want. Straight ahead positive gain. Just keep that clock ticking.
The Steelers on 3rd down. 3 for 7 so far in this game. This will be 3rd and 6. From the gun, Lynch. And he's got his man, the tight end, McDonald. That one goes for 24 yards. Big hook up there, forced to throw it on 3rd down. The connection's going to keep the drive alive and also keep the clock moving.
Yeah, and from a defensive perspective, didn't get a sack, didn't knock the ball free, didn't break up the pass. The clock keeps running on you. You're in a dire situation now.
They'll run on 1st down. It's Coleman, and I think this defense knew what was coming as he is smothered behind the line. A loss of 2 there, 2nd down. The 4th quarter here, they've got the lead. They want to keep it on the ground. That's what they're doing.
Smart football. Keep the clock grinding, keep it going. But you got to figure now, they're going to see more people stacked up at the line of scrimmage.
Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Darius Leonard, he's the one to get him, and that is sack number 7 for him on the year.
This has been a tough one for this offensive line. It appears almost like they've been on roller skates this entire game, the way they've been pushed around. 6 sacks given up in this one.
Lynch now, work to do, certainly after that sack. This is 3rd and long.
Go. Ready, ready.
Operating from the gun. Lynch going deep here for Stills. Got a man, it's caught inside the 10. And he just falls short down at the 1-yard line. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal. So 1st and goal, 6 points here would go a long way toward wrapping this one up.
You better be afraid of me. Ready, fight.
And he's into the end zone. Touchdown, Steelers. Paxton Lynch, his 2nd touchdown of the afternoon. And the Steelers, they broaden their lead. Extra point up and good by Tavecchio. And his guys will take a 10-point lead. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. That's fielded in the end zone. And he's going to wind up bringing this one inside the 45-yard line.
There's no downplaying that we all knew that this was a critical possession, and to get a return like that to start things off, that's the spark that they needed. That's the spark they were looking for.
There we go, Pac-Man. Waiting!
Wentz now on 1st down. That's going to be caught by Richardson. Give him a couple on the catch. It's 2nd and 8. One thing I think that's safe to say defensively, the tackling's been really good.
And because of that, it's been very, very hard for them to move the ball because you're not getting the benefits of run after catch. They're tackling them almost on the spot. That means you have to run extra plays, harder to move it.
2 minutes left to play in this football game here on EA Sports. So it's Eagle football here as we get you reset. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. To throw is Wentz. Flush to his right. Going right side here, and that's complete. And they're going to have themselves another first down as the tackle's made at the Steelers' 15-yard line. Wentz to throw. The Sanders has got it complete. And he's able to work it here to the 8-yard line. Give him 7 on the play, and that'll bring up second down. Sanders here as they run out of the gun. And he's stopped after a gain of 1. Not enough. Still a yard to go on third down. Only a yard on the pickup, so from a good situation on 2nd and 2, it's now 3rd and 1. Back to throw. Wentz. It gets it into the arms of Parker. Complete. And he has the first down before he's tackled at the 5. Just a yard, but that's all they needed. And by the slimmest of margins, it'll be 1st and goal. Now Wentz. And it's caught. He's got it for a late touchdown, but probably a little too late. It would take a miracle of epic proportions if they're going to pull this one off. Elliott good with a PAT. And now things get a bit more interesting here in this 4th quarter. So the clock sits at 16 seconds as they line up for the onside kick. And this is going to be recovered by the hands team. And that should just about put a capper on this one. Well, 4th quarter, they felt like they needed the football back. Unfortunately, they couldn't get it.
And I know we've brought analytics into the game, and someone has said here that the data says that when a team's expecting an onside kick, 80% of the time, the team expecting it, they do actually recover the ball, which is what we saw here. I just wonder if that number is much more of an anecdotal type of a number. Kind of like when the coaches tell us, well, when you score on special teams, 93% of the time you win the game. I'm still waiting to see that number is empirical.
First play of the drive goes the wrong way. Here's 2nd and 12. They will run again with Coleman. And he's going to have to protect the football and take his lumps here at this stage of the game as they stop him behind the line. So time to start going in the other direction as they come up now 3rd and long. Here's Coleman on the draw. And he's going to be stopped here at the 43, and that is not near enough to pick up the first. And a timeout comes in. The whistles blow with 3 seconds remaining. So on 4th down, out trots the kicker in a big spot here. They spot it on the midfield stripe, so it is a 60-yard attempt here. And off the crossbar, and it kicks back out. Needed maybe a foot or 2, but it's no good as it stands. And this score will stay right where it is. Well, Charles, a pretty exhilarating finish to the end of this ball game. At the end, the Hail Mary prayers, though, they went unanswered. Could have won it, but couldn't get it done.
Almost felt schoolyard or playground, didn't it? You remember when you called that play? Everybody just go long and try and find someone open. They gave it a shot, but unable to successfully complete it.
So for Pittsburgh, it's an important win for their postseason hopes as they at least get back